Hey, this is Tasha, the Crafty Kraut. I'm going to, I already started this, but I'm going to make a travel pillow today. So, I just had this fabric that I've had for a while. And what I'm going to do, I already cut out everything actually. So, I took a plate, like a little, I guess this is like a 8 or 10 inch plate. And I put it down on my fabric. I went around it with my little cutting tool. I did 4 of those, and then I did a strip. I just did a long strip of fabric as well that I will attach. This is what it's going to look like, and it's going to be two-sided. So this is going to go on my neck, this is going to go behind my neck. It's going to be like this. So this will be behind my neck, and then there will be another one here, and then it'll be comfortable. These I've seen online, they run about $30, $40. I think it's about $40 for these. So I'm gonna make my own and see how comfortable it is before I spend that money and end up not liking it. So what I'm gonna do is, you have everything cut out already. Let's see. Mess up the tail with my. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the fabric, put this down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so you're going to take the fabric, you're going to do it the right parts to the right sides together, and you're just going to go around and you're going to pin this all around the circle. So you're going to do this on both sides. Let's see. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do one side because I have to take my little middle part that I have here. This is going to be behind my neck, but it's actually going to be very short. So I think what I might do, not quite sure yet, I'm thinking about maybe making a Velcro part so I can Velcro it, so that way I can tighten it if I need to or loosen it, but I'll see. First I'm going to put this together and I'm going to sew around the edges on this one. So go ahead and pin it, and then take your sewing machine and then just sew around the edges of it so that you have this part together. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do that and I will be back to show you the rest. So I have my material on the machine. I just pinned it around. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew around the edge of the material. Make sure you make it nice and even. Oops. Of course I said that and my material is all buckled up underneath. Alright. So it's kind of tricky to sew around a circle, but just follow it. Just make sure your material is not buckled underneath and that you have both sides of your material. These needles are a little funky. So. Let's just leave that there. And I'll show you what I did. I did go ahead and attach this little piece that I had already made. I'll show you how I did that in a minute. I always have really hard time sleeping on the plane, and usually travel pillows are super uncomfortable, so I'm hoping that this will be something semi-comfortable to make it through a long flight. I'll just stick that through there. This is not right. Okay, wait a minute. I don't think this is going to work out right. No. Okay. Let's redo that. Okay, so this is the one I made earlier. And this is the first part of the one that I just sewed together. So it's a little round piece on bottom, and then I have that strip of material that I added to it. And then what I did is I had cut a piece of material and I sewed it together, and I turned it right side out, and I sewed it into one side of the pillow, and then it's a very short little strip to the other side of the pillow. This piece will be behind your neck, so this will be by one ear, and then this will be by the other ear. And then what I'm going to do, so I had this strip that I sewed around. Now I'm going to get my other piece of material, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sew the, I want to kind of make it line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it around the edges again, so the right sides together, and I'm going to pin it around the edges again. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sew around it, but I'm going to leave an opening so that I can put the filler in it. And as you can probably see here, here's some of the fiber filler, memory foam stuff I had left over from a pillow that I'm going to fill this with. So go ahead and pin everything, pin this around again, and just leave a nice opening. And I would kind of leave the opening the same area by the ear, that way you don't see it. Not that anybody's going to inspect it, but it'll just look neater. So I pinned everything. It's kind of weird. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to start sewing. If I can find the beginning somewhere. So, man, my needles are upside down. All right, so I'm going to start over here. You want to just remember to make sure that you leave an opening so that you can fit your filling in. Alright, let's see. And again, you want to make sure that your material is not buckled. And you can sew over your needles. You just have to be careful. If your needles are, if you can, I'm not sure if you can see or not. If your needles are going this way, oops, sorry. So your needles are like this, they're going to slide right through. If your needles are like this, sorry. So if your needles are going up and down, that's not going to work. They have to go side to side in the machine. I had some wonderful comments from some nasty people about sewing over the, oops, about sewing over the needles, which you can do. I've been doing it for years. My mom is a seamstress. She does it. So you can do it. You just got to be careful. Now in a serger, you cannot do it, because you will break the needle or the serger. I'm not sure, but you're not supposed to do it in a serger. And again, if they're straight back or side to side, it's fine. But some of these I have kind of at an angle, so I don't sew over them if they're at an angle, since it's a circle. And I try to take them out after I sew over them so that they don't fall out, because I have cats and I don't want my cats to, I don't want one to get lost and one of my kitties step in them. So I usually try to take them right out and put them away. Okay, my battery's about to die. Alright, so here's what we have. Go ahead and just cut off some of these anglers. Alright, so now I'm going to turn this right side out. Okay. So here's a little container, or whatever it is. I think actually the top. Okay, so now I'm going to take my filler and I'm going to fill it up through, oops, I'm sorry. Okay, so I turned it inside out, so here's one and here is the other one. And now I'm going to fill it up with my filler, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand stitch it closed so that the filling obviously does not fall out. And I was trying to get it so they were right sides out, but I guess I didn't do it right. One's upside down, but it doesn't matter. I didn't even think about that. Anyways, so I'll fill it and I'll show you. Okay, so I'm finishing up the last couple of stitches and it's done. I filled it. I had this leftover memory foam filling. It was like shredded memory foam. So I used that. This is not the prettiest edge, but I had to leave a big opening so that I could fill it, because that filling is quite hard to work with because it goes everywhere. But I think we got it. So, alright, so here's what it looks like. See all the filling? See if you can see it. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to do this or not, but... Okay, so sorry, my battery died when I was trying to show you upstairs on the other chair. So this is about like an airport or a plane seat. So here it is. You can lay like this, or if you have a window aisle, you can put it together.
Window aisle?
And I mean a window seat, you can put it together, and then, you know, the window's here, and then you can lean your head against it. So I think it's actually going to be really comfortable. So I will give it a try, and I'll let you know how it works whenever I go on a trip. Thanks.